too codependent. You hate all of my friends. Don't know how to fix it, but losing you's like taking my last breath. We're so disconnected. Like every time we message, I really thought you meant it. You took it all and now there's nothing left. Took it all and now there's nothing. Took it all and now took it all and now there's nothing left. I can feel the distance when I look at you, you're missing. Who are you with when you're with me? Who's on your mind? 'Cause it's not me. I was addicted, wanted to fix it, for dreams that never existed. We made a road, turn and missed it. Burn this bridge and now there's nothing left. We're so disconnected. Like every time we message, I really thought you meant it. Took it all and now there's nothing. Took it all and now. Took it all and now there's nothing left. You're too codependent. You hate all of my friends. Don't know how to fix it, but losing you's like taking my last breath. We're so disconnected. Like every time we message, I really thought you meant it. Took it all and now there's nothing left. You crystallize me. I'm up the shit with my brothers. He beat the weapons and Glover. First make a young nigga thugger. You know best friend is to cover. Girl on me bouncing like flubber. Boy young with money like stunner. 300 a pint for all summer. Shoot on sight if you fuck with my come up.
It is goof.
Hello, friends! Abdabura, banana, potato, ha 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 ha.
Oh no.
Minions, I think, are the worst thing that happened in general.
Like the first couple months.
Abaduba? Abab?
Something banana?
Ah, banana.
God damn it. I hate it so much. But it's great.
But yes. Banana. Alright, I'm assuming I'm assuming that our barbecued
Geriatric?
sorcerer, yeah, geriatric sorcerer is gonna be in barbecue land. That's fine. Considering the absolute mad things that he did last session.
Yeah.
Alright. Everybody here, everybody available? Get your ass out of the fucking... Get your shit set up in Minecraft and get in here, Cletus.
Yes. Yes,
Yes, I do also really hate minions. Mainly because of the... I can't tell now if it's actually a real thing or not, but like the super baked, like, bad Facebook memes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I honestly have no idea how real that is.
Right, yeah, totally. Yeah, it's like the minion Facebook.
It's like the uncanny valley, except of bad or good meme.
Well, because when you look it up, all you get are like the super, like the fucking fried versions of them, you know?
Yeah.
Like that shit. Oh, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So that one's too...
I found a real one. I found a real one.
That's the one.
Yep, that's the feel. But yeah, here's the thing. I thought in Despicable Me the minions were all right. Like they were decently funny little like side thing going on in the movie, but then they just leaned far too fucking into it.
It's marketing, baby.
Or like they started making them way too much money to ignore.
Yep.
I mean, yes, I get that, but also, fuck that. I also just now noticed in this GIF, somebody's gets stuck in the front.
Yeah. Hell yeah, these boomer memes are fucking great.
That actually got me. But not because of the minion. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know people, like family members who unironically post those things.
Yep. I see that occasionally.
Wait, which GIF are you saying people got stuck in? G-Story?
Oh, in the boomer GIF.
All right, I'm
I mean,
gonna go
someone
find.
got stuck.
Like, so front center.
It
there's
just
one
says
that
Myrrh. It just says Myrrh.
Oh, Myrrh. Okay.
Yeah. Because they got stuck trying to open it up.
I thought they were talking about like someone falling in a hole or some shit. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean?
Oh my god, this deep fried Facebook minion meme is it's excellent.
I feel like the peak of the deep frying was around the same time as the surrealist memes were hitting, and that was sort of a golden era of like a silver era of memes. Because the golden era is the early days.
This was one of my favorite like trends.
Yeah, just over the top.
Yeah, E.
I was looking for deep fried gifs and I got this one.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Forbidden. Just
That's
seeing that
somebody
start
who.
was like,
That's just somebody who is like, "Yo, I'm about to get fired today, or I'm about to quit."
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
paid $5.75 an hour. Fuck it. I'm trying to find the boomer memes on the Facebooks, but
Fun fact: in Florida, you only have to work 106 hours a week on minimum wage to afford a 2-bedroom apartment.
That's
Is this what you've learned in the Plane of Fire? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, that's your problem. Is you're
I mean,
wanting a second bedroom. What are you, fucking
Florida
selfish?
Plane of Fire.
Same thing.
No, that's California. That's the Plane of Fire. Let's be honest.
Not really.
No,
actually-
like
it's actually
it was only
England.
94 today.
It's
Only.
actually England and Europe right now is the Plane of Fire. It's migrating.
Like the actual fire, not the heat.
It has had a beat of all that.
I do understand. All right, well we got the crew here, and we'll get things started. Didn't it? Glad the deep fried old man has arrived. Dip. I like that. That's one that I'm fond of. Wojak. Is that Wojak or is that no? That's not Wojak.
No, there's.
What is that head? Like that head has a name.
It's like Panic or fucking what was
Stonk.
Stonk
Oh,
Man.
yeah.
Stonk Man, Panic Man.
Stonk Dude, Panic Man.
Sucks
He went
guy?
through those mini jobs.
It's so the names are Mr. Meme and Suck Guy. Those
No
are the two
fucking
like
way.
official names.
Dude, getting old sucks. This
All right,
freaking
so
blows.
whose character for the next campaign is just gonna be that?
I mean,
Here we go.
I haven't picked my art yet.
All right. Meme Man
Meme.
Yanked.
and the Stonk
Mr.
guy.
Suck and Stonks Guy.
But
Yeah.
but Wojak is something, right?
Wojak is like
Yes.
the soy face reaction.
Oh, it's just it's
Thing.
this one. It's just this. When you say Wojak, it's just.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
But then
like
there's
that.
like the whole industry of that now,
Oh, yeah.
which is all used by a particular slice of the internet life, which is
Because
less wholesome with it.
Ukraine ones are great.
It's certainly used in good templates, but I just tend to see it in.
Do you think
less-
the Egyptians were going through the same thing when they were doing the hieroglyphs?
no.
I'm sure there are variants, right?
Because they actually that was writing. That was their language.
I mean, but memes are our writings, right?
Oof.
This
This is painful thing to see with Wojak.
the current thing. I mean, oh, gross.
It's
I just
it's
saw
an
who
Elon
tweeted.
Musk
Yeah, I just
tweet.
saw who
Yeah.
tweeted it.
Yeah.
I'm very
Yeah.
happy I stopped following that dude on Twitter, and now I don't have to see any of his horse shit anymore. 'Cause it was far too much horse shit. Okay, we are all here. Let us get started. So, last session was eventful. You all battled and fought tooth and nail against Oral the Frostmaiden as she arrived in Yithrin. The city itself starting to rise up and break free of its frozen prison. You combated against her. She confronted you at the base of Eriolarthus' spire by the Yithrin Mythalar, the gigantic magical orb that is controlling the weather and the levitation of this city, and much more. Confronting her there was your plan. A few of you used some magical scrolls and spells to prepare in order to better be in order to have an advantage in the fight ahead. As the fight began, it seemed that a decision dawned upon your geriatric sorcerer / warlock companion to self-destruct, more or less, or at least that's what it seems to the party, breaking the staff of power across his knee as he flew into Oral's face, exploding in a massive just gout of force as the staff expelled all of its power. Oral, in her crone form, was decimated, as were the majority of her companions that she came there with, the frost giant skeletons, etc. But then she reformed in her brittle maiden form, still fought on. The group continued to harry her, trying to push her into the Mythalar as the plan was, and was able to, and in this form, she was able to capture, Crix. No, who was she able to capture? Well, Boogie.
Demovan.
Yeah, Demovan. Was able to capture Demovan and then attempted to capture Crix, but was saved by the aura of the Circle of Protection that was placed upon Valhalla. Not being able to finally capture the other fire user in the group, you were then able to free Demovan from his prison. This form was then shattered as she reformed in her third form, basically a crystalline, the Winter's Womb, a crystalline structure containing her divine spark. The party fought onwards, fighting through her brittle cold aura, as Demovan, with the assistance of a flash of genius from Valhalla, Spartan kicked this orb directly into the Mythalar. And that's where we rejoin the group right now, as we watch in slow motion as the Mythalar consumes the frozen shard of this clear blue opaque ice, and you watch as that divine spark contained within explodes upon the surface of the Mythalar, evaporated. There's a beat as you all just stare at each other. Holy shit. And then suddenly, I need you all to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh. It probably melted the ice, didn't it?
Is this danger sensible?
No.
Oh, crap.
Well, shit. That's a 14.
Nice. It's
Wait,
better than my
is this a magical effect?
No.
Huh.
We will find out. I think.
I mean, it wouldn't have worked for me with advantage anyway.
I was about to say, where's Kalus's role, but he's not there.
I forgot to ask, actually, in the recap, was there a chance of Kalus in his frail state of attempting to break the staff and then it just not breaking over his brittle knees?
No,
His knee
no.
breaks instead.
Yeah, interestingly, the staff doesn't have any, for that action, there is no strength requirement. It basically is just that's the kind of dangerous, right, for an artifact of that power to just be you could accidentally put it down wrong, apparently, and no.
I was wondering. I think it
has to be. You have to purposely with purpose. You need to do that. So yeah, that's its oh shit button, and Kalus pressed the fuck out of it. So yes. All right. All 6 of you, except for Hyrokin. Oh no, Thad and Hyrokin. You are able to not be thrown to the ground as suddenly all of your ears are assailed by what sounds just like a rapid multitudes of cracks and just chunks of ice suddenly just the city lurches upwards. All of you who rolled below the 15, basically you just fall face first onto the pavement. You don't take any damage. It just scares the shit out of you. It's like you're in an elevator that suddenly accelerates upward at blinding speed. So all of you just face first into the pavement. As gigantic chunks of the glacier ceiling start to fall. You also start to hear an odd sound that you haven't heard for quite some time in this kind of isolated tomb of the city of Yithrin. It almost sounds like no, it has to be. You look out. It's raining.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Like you
Just from
just
the
watch
ceiling above
as
us?
just suddenly there's a deluge of water just coming down from the ceiling as you all kind of peek out from underneath the cover, and you can see, visibly see, like 10 foot, 15 foot, 20 foot wide cracks forming in the ceiling. Another huge like explosion of force as you're all just gaining your footing again, holding on to whatever is nearby, like the pillars, the stand of the Mythalar, anything that might keep you upright. And you watch as gigantic chunks of the ceiling just start to fall slowly, like icebergs falling in the distance in like Antarctica, just watching them from a distance along the outside edge of the city. You just see them. One of the outer wizard towers, the ones that are on the periphery of this large floating, now floating city, just gets absolutely obliterated as probably like 100, 200, 300 foot long piece of ice just shears off the edge of the, shears it off, like clean off the edge of this. You just kind of see crumbling debris. Another huge jolt. There's another loud echoing crack across the entire chamber. This is getting pretty extreme. You hear the sound of pop, 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 pop. And you look out and you see dodging like massive boulders of ice falling from the ceiling back and forth. You see Zero, your doppelganger companion.
Oh, yeah.
Along with Kingsport, the penguin. That's the noise you hear, the pap, 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 as he's like sprinting alongside Kingsport. And then you hear echoing off the empty streets as there is a flaming fiery baboon just sprinting, terrified out of his mind through the street, just like recoiling and jumping into the air like a scared cat every time it like almost touches a piece of frozen ice. What was that?
Still has the magic stone.
Yeah, you watch as it's sprinting towards you. A piece of ice starts falling from the ceiling, and it looks up and goes, and just flings that magic stone at it. There's a giant burst of just like ice and snow and crystals as it explodes the piece of ice above them. And they just keep sprinting forwards. And you just hear in the distance, "What did you guys do? Holy shit!" Like Zero is running towards you all full speed. And then you just hear the terrified scream of Kingsport. Just like full screaming as he exhales, like doesn't even catch his breath, just runs straight past like the party and just face first face plants, slides across the ground penguin style, like directly beneath the tower.
Really the one thing we're good at.
There's an earthquake. What's going on? The ceiling's coming down. Holy shit, what'd you guys do? Just in the background you just see the flaming monkey just doing the like monkey dance, just like like terrified.
We succeeded.
Down or are we going up?
You now feel another jolt. You can now visibly see, like, the city suddenly, you kind of get vertigo as the tilted horizon that you've been so used to just suddenly rights itself. Because if you do remember, there was that weird sensation when you stepped upon Yithrin that, like, gravity shifted to align yourself with the tilted axis of the city.
Perpendicular to the surface.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
Now it is.
How far up are we, and how far up is the ceiling?
You watch and look up as the spire's tip is fast approaching what seems to be the ceiling. More rumbles.
Okay.
Should we try to slow this thing down somehow?
There's another massive explosion of... There's another massive explosion. Ice and snow. All of a sudden, a massive piece of this thing slides off and careens off to the side, ricocheting off the walls of this cavern and falling down into the icy blackness that's now below you. You kind of blink your eyes as a gigantic ray of sun is now shining through the roof of this cavern.
Oh, we haven't seen that in months.
Yep.
Oh shit! Everyone,
more rain. Yeah, more rain pouring down. It's almost now. It's now less like rain, almost like a waterfall, just coming down through that opening. Just the ice, just there's just a torrent now of just water pouring down, cascading off the edges of this spire, the irregular spire, ricocheting down. You can just see it coming down in torrents, waterfalls now all over the city.
I think we need to go up.
I think we are going up.
Frozen North is going to have some severe drainage issues for the next several months.
I think we need to get above the ice.
Yeah.
Well, isn't this still going up?
The city is still rising.
Yeah, we're still about to punch through.
Well, how far did we tell it to rise? I thought we were stopping at like 250 feet.
No, we just said up.
Yeah.
I swear we said a number.
No number was said, but you watch as
People
more of the
walk
ice
the
falls
elevator in
down.
this shit.
Yep.
More ice falls down around you, and you see in the distance a shape punch through one of these boulders these icy boulders that have fallen into the street as Noggin comes to a rest right beneath the edge of the tower and just kind of looks and then just blinks its eyes at Valhalla. Slowly raises its arm, and its metallic fist forms a thumbs up. All right. More ice falling, more rumbles as the city now just feels like it's just it's wrenching itself from the cold grasp of the cavern around it. And you look around and you don't see a single piece of the cavern that's still now holding onto the city. It begins to rise a little bit more rapidly. More chunks are falling from the roof around you, just ricocheting off the city, bouncing off the sides of it. You watch as the top of the tower just pierces through now what is just thin, wet ice. There's a massive, just everybody like ducks down as you feel the ground shake one more time. As we get the shot from the outside, as there's just kind of like this little, from the sky, you see what looks to be a dark hole in this icy, white, icy field. And then suddenly there's just that like as the entire city just shoots out, like flinging ice into the air. It's all just rocketing everywhere as Yithrin, battered and bruised and partially destroyed, takes to the sky again.
Whoa.
You all blink, partially blinded from now seeing what is clear skies above you. You look out, and on the horizon, for the first time in months, you see a sun slowly rising.
I'm just kind of sitting there, leaning on my staff. Whoa, we did it. Wait, are we still going up? Maybe we should tell it to stop.
Where do we want to land this thing?
First, we'll stop and figure out. I don't know. If we keep going, we might make it to the moon. That might be a bit much.
It continues rising and rising until you're about 1,000 feet or so above the ground, and then it seems to slow and almost like equalize at that height.
All right.
The water all around you is just now kind of cascading and slowly just draining into the streets. You can just kind of hear all of it pouring off the side of the city in the distance, like, a ship that got hit by a massive wave, just draining out all the water back into the ocean. And it's a beautiful sight. The city itself is nearly like it's just sparkling and gleaming in the rising sun as you see the ice, like all the ice that's been left on the city, all the boulders and stuff, reflecting the sun back in this beautiful, almost gem-like quality. And then, obviously, from a distance, all you just see is just the water pouring down off the city onto the snow below.
So, I'm gonna look around to everybody, and without saying a word, I'm gonna silently issue the command to start moving this thing towards Dugan's hole.
Wait.
All of you who are connected, in your mind, all of a sudden you feel this kind of like a pull. You hear a command in a voiceless voice. I don't know how else to say it. It's more like an emotion or a feeling. And you just hear you all know that there was that one of those attuned as wants to move this thing to let's go back to the big old map. Wants to move this thing due west, back towards 10 Towns.
Yeah, I could stop Dugan's hole for
Well, Thad says no.
Again,
We have to all agree to move.
Yep. It is.
Yep.
I was like, wait, hold on. We need to take a moment. So I don't even know where to start processing what just occurred.
So
The last
let's put the city down in Dugan's Hole. And we can talk then.
The last thing we were going to want to do is show this flying city off to the world. What chaos is that going to start? What a
I'm
powers are
trying to
going
look
to try to
over
see
the
this?
edge. Can I see 10 towns from here, like, clearly?
You
We're
mean
pretty
like look
far
off
away.
into the distance?
Ooh, that is far.
No, you can't. It's hard to with the cleared weather. It's a little bit, there's a little bit more visibility, but nobody can really see 40-something miles into the distance, even in this.
You might be able to see like the outline of the trees around this lake.
If anything, you can see some. You can see some shapes in the distance. You can see where Kelvin's Cairn, the mountain, is rising up. However, something that you do notice is that there is this kind of like fine mist in the air as you realize so much of this snow and water and kind of permafrost is now evaporating, and you just see kind of everything rising up into the air from the newfound heat.
I mean, rapid climatological warming is probably not a big deal. We don't have to worry about that.
Not real.
Nope.
It's probably not going to start any flooding or anything.
Nope, not at all. However, getting back to the point at hand is we have not really considered a bigger picture of things beyond fighting Oral for a while. We still have Jarlaxle, who was sent us here to fix this situation. Do you really think him or any other leaders of the Sword Coast would let a flying mythical city alone? I don't know if we should show ourselves with this just yet.
Do you think they can stop us?
There's 6 of us, 7 of us, in a city we don't know how to operate that well.
They'd have to get up here, and
so let's
if they find out where it is, we can just move it.
Let's
Even
not
if
land
they
it yet.
Can't stop us. They definitely can make it more than difficult, and quite frankly, we don't need that just yet.
I mean,
think we need to consider our options before we make any rash decisions, is all I'm saying.
Do we need this city for anything?
As you say that, Crix, another tower just like falls off the side.
This thing is falling apart. We need to get it set down somewhere so we can get off of it before it collapses.
Went to the archaeologist to figure out.
I look around. Oh, go ahead.
What we think of value is the Mythalar itself. Everything else is relics.
I don't think we're really taking that off of here.
No.
We are still connected to it, and as far as I know, we will remain to be until we choose to not be or till we die.
What's the range on the Mythalar again? It's a huge area of effect for the weather effect, right?
It's relatively big, but the main thing...
I think it just reached the edge of...
I think it was 50 miles.
Uh-huh.
Radius?
Yeah.
So it's just reaching the edge of 10 towns.
Yep. It was something pretty big.
So we're getting, like...
Herdenival.
50-mile radius,
Haven.
yeah. It would be 50-mile radius, cast a spell, blah, 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 blah. And it says, while you're on the same plane of existence of the Yithrin Mythalar, you can use an action to cause it to fly in any direction you choose at a speed of 30 feet. All matter within 500 feet of it moves. Yeah, it just basically says all creatures attuned to the Yithrin Mythalar can sense when the device is being used. A creature attuned to the device can use any of its properties, but only if all other creatures attuned to the device agree to follow it or allow it.
Alright, if this thing is about to fall apart, brief conversation, make sure we're all on the same page here. The purpose of this was to thaw out the 10 towns. We can do that. We don't have to land it on Dugan's Hole. I know it's a weird, twisted place, but I don't think it'd make us much better than villains ourselves to drop us on top of their heads.
It would make me happy.
Sometimes ethics make you unhappy. Anyways, we take it to the middle of 10 towns, land it at a place where we can easily access. Make a deal with all the leaders of the 10 cities to not spread word of what this thing is. Keep it secret.
Burst your bubble immediately, but most of the leaders we met weren't trustworthy.
Yeah,
No, there are a lot of kind of culty things going on, if you care to remember.
We have leverage. We
Not
can turn.
enough for them not to say anything.
We can turn the
10
weather.
leaders of 10 towns in the middle of bumfuck nowhere are going to all take the time to consider that there might be leverage, or you can try and power grab as quick as they can.
All we have to do is tell them they fuck around. We freeze this place again. We can do that from anywhere on this world. We do not have to be here. We have the ultimate leverage.
So we're just going to be reverse oral.
No,
Yeah, so it's just a power shift.
We're trying to do the right thing. I am trying to protect them and ourselves. They are more likely to want to keep this place in a warm and inviting environment. All they have to do is keep this
to
thing.
say that we have to tell them anything about it?
Why don't we just leave it here? We're the only ones that know that it's here, as well as, well, the tribe.
Something you do notice as you look out over the horizon is the weather is changing beyond what you can feel as the radius of the...
Because Oral's gone.
Yep.
Well, in that case, let's
and it's
part this
changing, and
someplace
it's
secret
changing
and
more
safe.
rapidly than it would from, like, the spell contained within.
I do believe that we could do one last bit of good with this city by landing it on Dugan's Hole.
Didn't you just say you want to keep it secret from them?
I mean, who's going to ever come to Dugan's Hole to know that it was removed?
Everyone within the 10 towns is going to see a flying city.
Unless we go high enough that they can't see us.
They'll see it land.
They will see.
No,
This
we'll
thing
just keep
is
it real low. We'll go in low and sneaky.
all right. We seem to be oscillating between very extremes here. I want to keep this out of the hands of anyone who'd use it for ill. We can keep control of this thing.
Well, then why did we not just leave it here?
But we always have control of this thing.
Is there a necessary reason to try to move it?
It's kind of cool. Plus, I would rather put this on solid footing, not just on
ice. If we go
ice.
park it on Oral's old house.
Place did have hella traps. I don't know if anybody was still active.
It's also, yeah, that's also way out in the
I didn't know how far away.
Yeah, that's way, it's not even on the map far away.
I look back to Valhalla. No, I think that's a very unpopular decision.
I think that it.
I don't think Valhalla said anything. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Although, speaking of Valhalla and options, is it possible that we could use that vessel of yours to haul the Mythalar out way into the outer reaches of where it could be tampered with?
Zero kind of is listening in, and he's just like,
"Plane of fire and destroy it."
Yeah, I want to know. It just lands in Kalis and freezes everything over.
Zero kind of was just like, what do you mean? There's another? You guys have another ship? What are you talking about? Like a boat?
Don't worry about it. Long story short, there's some octopus flying an interplanar ship, and
yeah, he kind of nods. All right, I'm gonna go take a quick walk. I'm gonna go check and see how much damage this place sustained. I was gonna leave you all.
Get crushed. You do, and not your mom.
Actually, I'm gonna inside check. Is he trying to escape? Is he trying to get the fuck out of here?
Where's he gonna go?
I don't know. Skydive.
No, he's just kind of. He's actually. You can see he has some concern on his face. He's actually actively worried that this, seeing it as another piece of the thing just literally fell off a few minutes ago.
See what the damage is
Yeah.
and how much we might have.
Well, I suppose here's the thing. Nobody will be able to control this thing as long as we are on this plane of existence. Or I believe in general.
Hands up, who plans to be alive in 70 years? 70 years running. Who's still alive? Hands up.
Oh,
You're right. We need to protect us for more than a generation.
I just pointed Valhalla.
Yeah. But I do think, I look around, I think we have somewhat of a secret society now. I think we're all responsible for this. We need to find a place to keep it secret and safe and pass down the traditions.
Oh God, did we do all of this only to make that right?
I've always been right. You just haven't seen the truth.
What if we flip this again, and what if we only tell the people of Dugan's Hole about it, but not all of its potential? So that no one's going to want to go to Dugan's Hole to learn about it.
Oh, nobody will
they're never going
believe.
to tell you
Even
it's no
fewer
social
people.
interaction.
Yeah, even few people will believe the people of Dugan's Hole if they tell them about it. No, it's actually kind of the perfect crime. I mean, plan.
The other option is, what if we lower this, get off, and just send it up indefinitely?
Well, that's sort of my thought, but I point down
But
to the south.
Didn't seem to want to go up any higher than this, right?
No, and that's why I'm
Could
pointing to
be
the
closer
southwest
to
where
fire.
we can see some mountains.
It's
Not that far away.
It's not that it didn't want to go any higher. It's just seems to be like
It's default.
its default.
Cruising
It was the
altitude.
Cruising
dramatic height
altitude.
for it to hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minimum height. When you said up, this was minimum height above
Yeah.
ground or above
operational.
whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, I would just point to the southwest, about 15 miles away. We see some mountains. Perhaps something a little more solid than this ice that's going to be rapidly melting is a good place to start. And we probably could get there. Wait, can we get there quickly? What's the speed this baby can do?
It can
30
move
feet
at 30
per
feet,
6 seconds.
whatever. Every
So we can move this thing at approximately 4 miles an hour.
Walking pace.
Yep.
We're voluntarily crashing a ship into the mountain.
You also
Who said
all,
crash?
as you're
Not that you would remember, but I hear that you're pretty good at that, Cole.
Heyo.
Shit. As you're all talking, one Valhana is trying to talk to Noggin really quick. Also,
Oh, yeah.
you all, might dawn on some of you that you did leave some companions, you could say, at the entrance of the caves as well.
Yeah, they might have a few things to share with the towns when they get back. If they're still alive.
Was it just the tribesmen? Who else was there?
Are fucking ride animals?
Yeah. Also,
we can go with
Kobolds.
one of which is now, or no, two of which are now dead.
Yeah, probably.
Big oops.
Well, we could always touch down and pick up everyone.
That would probably be for the best, yes.
Which, if we're directly over, because we didn't travel laterally very far through the caves, right? So we should be fairly close at entrance below us.
Look at the
by
map.
the looks of it, yeah, we're 13 miles away from where
We
we
should-
entered the caves.
Oh, that's a lot further than I met, like from the maps and things we did.
Yeah, I know. That's where it
Okay.
says. That's where I'm literally just like marked it where it is. So rough estimation.
Okay. Well, we could get back up.
Noggin will. You know that golems like this live indefinitely. They are magical constructs. This one has already lived for thousands of years at this point.
Could we entrust the keys to the city to Noggin?
Noggin cannot connect to the Mythalar at all. No.
Oh, fuck.
Random question, but
Mhm.
with astral projection, can you communicate at all?
No. Wait.
Okay,
Maybe.
That's one thought.
I
Is I
think
could
so.
I could use that to communicate to the folks up there
I
to
guess
make heads
not,
off.
unless something could also see the astral plane.
Yeah, astral projection. Yeah, it's just your conscious.
Okay, so it's just for observation. There's no
Yeah.
way to really.
There's no
Okay.
physical form or anything like that. You're literally just an
I-
observer.
I'm of the opinion that this thing, as long as we are all alive, will be protected.
And
Absolutely.
It cannot be used.
And Valhana does assume that if given the command, Noggin would remain here and guard this thing.
So
It is
the-
actually,
I
and
guess-
actually, no, that's true. Noggin is, by default, was meant to guard the city. He was one of, a multitude of these things that were created. The rest of them all destroyed. This is the only one that survived as, like, the automated guard force. Magical automated guard force of Yethrin.
So I guess then the question remains: we have two real paths. Do we all take an oath to protect this thing and continue tradition, or let it die with us? I don't think there's any real other option here.
I believe
Too
that-
dangerous to be handed off.
I will stay here as well. Kingsport, raises his flipper hand. I can't really see, but I can tell that this is a very good opportunity and a career advancement for me.
Kingsport attorney at law. I mean, there's also the third option. We get rid of the Mythalar and leave the ruins for somebody else.
How would
Do you
we
have
do
a-
that?
Yeah, you have a proposal?
I mean, I said earlier, we could take it somewhere off plane And
But
somewhere
how?
nuclear enough to destroy it.
I guess my question is, how?
Wasn't there the armbar? Like what? That was out of the Mythlar, right?
Totally.
Yeah, so the Mythalar, though, is basically...
Stationary.
Let me just see. It actually does have... magic. This one is a small Mythalar.
Oh, Jesus. Just tie the rope. I don't think that's gonna work for some reason.
Just, tie it. No, I mean, I'm pretty sure
damage.
that the Mythalar is more or less just like immune to all damage and all that stuff. It's basically it's a constructed god, more or less, magic-wise.
Curiosity. What happens if I issue a command to the Mythalar to destroy itself?
There is no response because it does
Black
not.
hole.
Yeah.
So the only thing we can do is move and
The three things that you can
change
do
weather.
is
Oh, there's
move.
third.
Yeah, there's three things. There's movement and movement of it, control weather, and it is a magical recharge station for any items that have charges.
Oh, that's right. Which is
What if we could
secondary.
attach it to the Elithid ship? And I don't think it's going to be very hard to destroy the land that it's sitting on.
Wait.
How large was the Illithid ship?
Mm.
Because this thing's 50 feet across, right?
Yeah. No, sorry. You mean the
Descendant.
id ascendant? Well, the Mythalar itself is actually only 30-foot diameter.
30 foot. And then the Descendant was what, 50?
Pretty big. Let me
Throw it
look.
out into space. Descent.
The Descendant
Do you-
is at its biggest. 5, 10, 50, 5, 30, 35, 40, 50 feet at its like widest, and its length is quite long.
So maybe I don't know how the
It's at
mechanically that
least
would work.
100 feet in length.
Yeah. Valhalla, do you think that you and your friends from the Descendant would be able to put the planar technology on to the city?
What are you
Why
trying
don't we
to?
just fly
I guess
it over to the
are you
Descendant?
saying like try to?
Like the whatever technology is on the Ascendant that allows it to go between
Oh,
planes, could we scale that up to city? This city.
I think so. Valhalla, go ahead and roll a yeah. Well, she's have some memories back, so roll a Arcana check just at normal, and I'll let you know what she knows. Archana check comes. Sick. Valhalla
That's a good
immediately can
horchata.
tell you that unfortunately the Nautiloid's planar jumping technology is part of the organism itself.
Oh, that's right. It's a living ship. Forgot about that.
Yeah. So it's not that there's no device or anything on the ship that actually is just like, all right, push the button, it does the thing. It is literally a function of the Illithids interfacing with the ship itself, and then
So did we rule out putting the Mythalar on the ship?
We didn't. I think it would take up a lot of
but
room.
I don't know if we have a good way of doing such a thing.
so Valhalla tries to think about if they could tow it. Sure. You don't know how heavy this thing is, but it doesn't seem to be. It's currently floating. Yeah. It's kept on something, but it is a. I thought you meant when you said tow it, I thought you meant the Yithrin itself to try to get it to go faster. Like a giant fucking like a tugboat with a barge.
Well, you also mentioned rope, which was not going to be a feasible material.
The rope would immediately
consideration.
take 170 fucking damage.
Well, we had to
That'd
attach
be
it to the
tied to the
base or
base.
something. But even then, rope is not going to be powerful enough. We need like heavy chains or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can.
Yeah, it would be. You would be able to figure it out, and it would be possible to.
Then perhaps we should move this thing along the spine of the world over to where it ascendant.
Are you
rests.
guys able to create a list?
Yeah,
What?
so it would be
I'm sorry,
actually.
it's hard to hear what Derby's saying.
Yeah,
What
Derby's
do you-
just yelling incoherently in the background. She's trying
Well,
to say that,
what her
like,
point is.
if
Yeah.
if there is, if the, like, if you did, yes, if you did try to jump, plane jump, with it towing, with the Nautiloid towing the Mythalar, it's doable. Because it's the way that the Nautiloids actually do the jump, it's something contained within the organism itself. However, it still does create a planar tear in front of it, like physical planar tear,
So it passes
and
through.
passes
instead of-
through it. Yes.
I guess that would probably remove any terrestrial risk the rest of us.
So we take it with us to, I don't know, the plane of fire.
I don't understand why you'd want to do that.
I have business there.
Are you gonna hurt Kalis?
Well,
We
no,
don't
you
know
also
he's
don't
there.
know. Yeah, actually, and for the first time, I think that's probably when Hyrogan, you think about it, and you're like, wait, where is Kalis? None of you have really stopped to think about it, and like, you look around, there's
Just
no
always so
body.
quiet.
There's no body. You look around, you don't see. Maybe you like look for his lamp. There's no lamp. He's like gone. Do any of you even care? Are you even any of you have like any like have any good?
It
in
has
you?
been really quiet since he's been gone.
Yeah, it was kind of nice, but
I don't actually know
know.
the current temperature of the room because no one's reminding me about it.
Didn't
I
even
just-
remember our
wait.
names.
I just assumed he was consumed by the explosion of his sacrifice. Are you saying that's not the case? Because there's no body?
Well, here's the thing that is scientifically it's proven that when something is consumed by fire, it has to leave a comically pristine outline of the individual burned on the ground. It's in the rules.
Thad's face goes slack. Wait a minute. You're right.
There also
There was none of that.
Yeah, but there also wasn't any, like, you think back to it now, it's just like, as, you know, the battle was a blur, but what might have felt like, it felt more like you had gotten hit by a invisible, like, just like a full force of like a gigantic animal into your chest. It was all
It's
force damage.
concussive versus fire.
It was all
yeah.
force damage, and so it's just like, all you remember is just seeing him fly up there, raising the staff above his head like a fucking sand person from Star Wars, like, and just breaking it on his knee, and then just all of you. It's almost like, I don't even know, because it's not thunder. Thunder damage would give that like weird ringing effect, like that's like a shatter spell. This
Just
one
pure
was more
force,
just
yeah.
like he immediately. I think you all would have immediately just seen him disappear. Like he would have just went shoop, and just like gone. Like you would have blinked and he's no longer there, and then all of a sudden there's just like this like the world's strongest fucking like bass speaker just thudding you in your chest, feeling like it wanted to liquefy all of your innards.
But there was no fire. There's no consumption, just gone.
We pray
But-
he's in a warmer place.
But everything else that got caught in this blast, there's remnants of. Us, we survived. Those who died, he's the only one who's not.
You're right.
There's nothing at all.
So he was sent somewhere. I suggest we start looking in the plane of fire.
That seems very unlikely. I don't know why you think that.
You can also assume the Feywild, and I kind of glare at Crix like, yeah, other people have shit they want to do.
Or perhaps he just got sent far away. I don't know how these things work.
he just went straight to hell. We have no idea.
He could be on a beach resort. He could be in ninth layer of hell. Exactly.
Either
Now I'm
way,
curious
it's
about
warm.
that. His experience.
Let's be honest. If Kalis were to be sent to hell, it would be Levistus's lair.
It's true. Oh, finally,
Well-
I've escaped my cold flesh prison.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's cold down here, though.
Welcome to Absolute Zero, bitch.
What I will say is, I believe that my business in the plane of fire is a little bit more pressing.
You claim so, but
The as you say that, you hear Zero calling out and says, hey, can somebody help? There's something weird hanging off the edge of the city.
Oh, sure. I'll rush over.
All
Doing
right.
cool monk shit.
Yeah, you dash over, and in the distance you see what looks to be wrapped around one of the kind of like broken pillars at the edge of the city, a massive, long and entangled root. It's kind of like grown into the side of the stone, and it's hanging there. And you look down, and you can see dangling below the city, bits and pieces of snowy earth still attached to the base of it, a tree.
Is this the one we saw in the orchard that was being tended?
You look over the edge. Give me a perception check.
Also, Neon, you're being talked to in Discord.
You squint your eyes. It's hard to see. But then you do see something moving in the tree. And you do
Like
see, I think from
moving,
this distance, it's easy to spot that there is purple fruit in the tree.
Oh, okay. We need to protect that fruit. It's delicious. But I don't know how to. Ah, fuck it. Let's do some dope monk shit. I'm gonna go slide down the tree. Try to get to that fruit.
Okay,
Yeah.
give me an acrobatics check. And
This
once
is
again,
how Thad fucking dies.
This is how it goes down.
and once again, if you are proficient in acrobatics, you can take the 10.
Yes. Okay, so it's 17.
Yep.
Let's play it safe.
Yeah, you are not in a combat situation, so you are able to slide down, able to get down there to the slide down this long tangled root, and you end up on the tree, and you hear, hello, is somebody there?
The fruit is talking. Wait, I recognize that voice.
And then you see a face emerge from the tree, like right next to you, as you're holding onto the roots. Its branches dangling below you, the purple fruit kind of swaying in the breeze, the leaves rustling, and you see like a face just comes out of the tree, a torso. Oh, hey, help?
Yes. How?
I can feel the root. It's still attached to the city. I think that's why the grove was still growing. Can you, any way for you to get me up?
Look, how big is this? Is this something that we could like leverage with the rope to like winch him up and around, like the tree up and around, or is this hopeless?
You could, I mean, if something was strong enough, or a group of people was strong enough, you could grab the root and pull it up.
Pull the whole thing up on.
Yeah.
Okay, I had this in my mind. I was seeing like the roots coming out of the bottom, but it's just dangling.
Yeah, imagine a tree upside down, branches hanging towards the ground. Its roots kind of free in the air, and there's a good portion of them that are wrapped up, kind of intertwined, and go up to the city and are embedded in like the wall of the city.
Okay, so we could leverage it up around and just kind of be bending her over and possibly onto the city. I'm like, oh, okay. Just sit tight. Oops. All right. I'll work my way back up.
I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know you can't. I'll head back to the group. I'll take 2 of the purple fruits.
All right, you slide. You awkwardly like climb down. It's like she's like, ow, you're stepping on. Ow! Get your. That's my face. That's my arm.
Sorry. Okay, go now.
You just with 2 of the purple pears under your arm, you just climb your way back up. She's like, please come back, please.
Okay. And I run back to the group who's having their own conversation. It looks like.
Yeah, they're all talking about where to go. They're talking about, you come back and you overhear a conversation more or less about like where about suggestions for honeymoons and activities on said honeymoon.
All right, not to interrupt your little lovey-dovey pile, but I need some help. Remember our tree friend? Anyways, he's over here. Come on.
Do you just hold up like, what do you?
The fruit, yeah.
You just
One's
a
gonna bite
big old purple pear in each hand, just boop. Yeah, you can ask Noggin for help. Noggin nods in acknowledgement, lets out a low. And
Good, we'll need the muscle.
the party all runs off to the edge, and As you all kind of look over and see this root kind of caught in the edge of some broken rubble, Noggin just moves over and just like steps over the party, kind of sumo squats at the edge, reaches down and just fucking deadlift, like snatches the thing and just goes and just pulls it up. You just hear in the distance as the tree just goes flies through the air because he just like pulls it and just whips it over his head. There's the tree just like hits the ground.
It's very useful.
Wow. Goals.
Take one home with us.
Noggin just drops, like, holds up the root in his hand, looks at her, the root in its hand, looks at it, just drops it on the ground.
Welcome to the sky.
The shape of the dryad kind of stands out on top of the tree, now kind of on the ground. And she looks around, she's just like, huh. Oh, I haven't seen the outside in quite some time. Is that an actual grove over there? You know, looks her eyes, shields her eyes against the sun and looks, and in the distance you can see now the ice kind of melting from the leaves. You can see the grove of, I forget it, with the arboretum of Yithrin, where you fought the tree.
Again, can you take the tree to the grove? Without flinging it everywhere?
Yeah, you watch as he's about to just kind of like do a fucking like over the head like spin of it, and just he nods, walks over, and the dryad Hathwin looks up. Just gentle, please. This is the last of the trees of my grove. Oh, okay. And it like gently cradling the tree, slowly walks it over to the grove, and you can see Noggin puts it upright, takes his other hand, digs out with one big hand, size of a fucking excavator, takes out some dirt and just, and then takes a step back and kind of you realize a little bit more calculating than you ever think that this massive iron golem would be. Kind of holds a hand up, realizes that he put the tree in at like an angle, and just like rights it, makes it straight, and gives a thumbs up, and then walks away. Zero, kind of with the wind blowing through his doppelganger hair, looks around. So, where are we going? We're just kind of floating here. Nice. Sun's nice. I haven't seen that in thousands of years, it seems. And, well...
So how does your photosynthesis work, then, if you didn't see...
He did recommend we get the ship moving before talking about things.
Anyways.
Let
We do need to land and collect our thoughts and before we figure out what to do exactly.
We should pick up our allies at the entrance of the caves, and then head south and but keep the mountains between us and 10 towns.
At least, and perhaps that is one plan, and we have time to think about others on the way. So let's execute on that for now. Yes.
All right. So the 7 of you that are attuned. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. So you all start to. Do you all start to kind of agree on the movement back towards the entrance of the caves?
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I think drop low enough just for some of us to jump off and back on.
Kalis. Kalis, who is sitting in his little thing, gets a strange ping in his head.
It's cross-planar?
No, it has to be plane, right?
I thought it had to be within the same. You had to be on the same plane.
Let's see.
That'd be interesting. That'd be really interesting. Like, feel like, oh, he's still alive.
You're on the same plane. You can use an action to fly it.
As an action, you can use... Okay, sorry. You're on the same plane of existence.
Blocked by Kalis.
Yeah. It just says all creatures... all creatures attuned to the Yithrin Mythar can sense when the device is being used. A creature attuned to the device can use any of its properties, but only if all the other creatures attuned to the device agree to allow it.
Oh, so he can still sense this, but He can't
No,
initiate
so
things.
he can't sense it, and he can't issue a command. So we got the fucking locks put on.
He just can't start the vote, essentially.
No, he can still agree to it. It doesn't say he cannot agree.
He
to
can
it.
agree.
But he has to
start
know
the
to
vote.
agree to it, and he gets
But
no...
I think he gets the ping, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Does
He knows what.
He
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
He cannot initiate anything.
Yeah, there's basically you all get the same thought of like initiate movement this direction, that type of thing.
Okay, so he just gets an absentee ballot.
I mean,
Would this be a way for us to determine that he's still alive then? Because we're still waiting for a response. You know, you have like there's like 7 check marks and like 6 are green. All of a sudden, they're like, wait, that one's still pending.
I think actually yes.
Well, there's
That would.
So we're like,
Yeah, that would actually be one of the cases where it's like because the only thing you've actually issued as a group was like the up
rise. Yeah.
Yeah, and then this is the with this you're trying to issue another command, and yeah, I would say 6 out of the 7. Actually, let me see. It's actually less than that because I don't think Korra is attuned to it actually.
we can all attune to it.
Korra did not.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. There actually would be 6 attuned to it. And so 5 of you, yeah, you all would get the sense where if 5 of you here agree to moving it towards the entrance, there are 5 in your mind, the feeling of agreement, but then there is 1 emptiness that is not responding.
Wait. Kohler, you're not attuned, or are you? Say yes if you are.
He just blink at you.
Wait, that means... Then you get the full, like, wide-eyed Thad. That son of a bitch lived.
He did, yes.
And he's not responding to our text.
He's leaving us on red.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Damn it. Wait, just because he's alive doesn't mean he's... Oh, what happened at the end?
Bye.
Oh.
What are you all talking about?
If we can't move this because one of us who is attuned is not responding.
We have to go hunt down Kalis wherever he is.
So I would say, because I don't know if CW3 is actually listening or not, Kalis would. There's like a very awkward delay, like extremely way too long delay. His connection is like really
poor. Get the dial up to work or some shit.
Yeah, he's getting some interference. The literal sunspots on the plane of fire are just really affecting his connection speed. There is after a while, you're like all discussing this, and then suddenly everybody just like gets that like bing like sound above their head, as suddenly the city starts to like moving. You start to feel the wind in your hair. You can see the clouds starting to move as it slowly starts to migrate to the northwest.
Does that mean he responded?
And he's alive.
He either responded or he died very suddenly.
Well, we would have gotten the sense of the
loss.
It sounds like we
would have gotten
the
the sense of a loss of connection.
Yeah, this is the connection was completed. This
For
means
a suicidal old man, he is very durable.
that's very strange. I must learn his ways.
It's almost dangerous. He's a suicidal yet incompetent old man. Even if he tried to end it, I don't know if he could.
However, you realize this puts a little bit of a wrench in our overall plans, right?
I mean, he accepted, so does it?
For this moment.
And I don't think we have too many more movement requests.
It doesn't matter if we go elsewhere.
Have we ever considered the possibility that Kalis might actually be immortal?
I mean, so far he has been.
Yeah.
I mean, he was very against the cold, and we did go to fight Oral up here. We didn't question his motives for being here.
Is he MX?
Crix's eyes go fucking wide.
No, they narrow.
Wide and narrow.
One's
Yeah.
narrow. Yeah.
It would just be like, I never thought of that, but
Well, I
that would
have
explain a lot.
questions.
Kalos is immortal, and I mean, our problem's already solved. No one can do anything without his consent.
But we don't know. This is a
But-
loose end that
Kalis,
needs.
you know he will just give it because he doesn't care.
Or
This-
he'll forget to open the message, and, like, they'll just be waiting for a very long time.
Either way, this is an incomplete loose end that needs to be addressed. I think
So
I know what I
kill
must do.
Kalos?
No, just want to talk.
Just want to talk.
Just want to talk. Cock's gun.
Yeah. No, just want to talk. But for real, I just want to. Yeah, this one. I have questions for him. Things don't make sense. Yeah. Well, I don't know where to begin with this, but once we figure out where to place this, I think I know what I must do next.
So as the city, we take a moment of reflection as the city continues to slowly cruise its way across the glacier. You can see bits and pieces of it starting to melt. Nothing like too insanely quick or significant, but it's definitely getting warmer in the area. You're all also like starting to feel that you have a few too many layers on as the sun beats down on your faces for the first time.
Crix is like as close to naked as possible.
Yeah, I was about to say,
already.
Crix is just full on like doing the lizard pose, like the lizard on the rock pose somewhere out there, just like nah.
Push-ups.
Yeah, doing the push-ups, the lizard push-ups. Lizard push-ups are a thing, by the way. It's when we were over at Chuckle's place a while ago, there was this lizard trying to attract another lizard by just doing push-ups. It was wild.
Oh, I gotta find that video. I think you made a video of that or
Yeah.
somewhere. It's hilarious.
Yeah, doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, what the fuck? This is a
Oh, no,
fucking
it's
lizard,
this one.
lizard monk.
No, it's literally this.
It's that. But there's a video from that. I remember that exact moment because it was so fucking funny with it chasing the lizard around.
Yeah, I was doing
Trying to
that.
press
and
it and
was,
just
yeah,
get
I was trying
shot
to impress
down.
him. It was just going ba 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 da 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 da. Push-ups.
And she's like, nah.
Yeah, she was not about it. So
Like crouching in a video game.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's it's the shift walking, rapidly hitting shift in Minecraft.
Yeah.
So as Yithrin races its way through the sky slowly and finds its way near where you know the entrance is, you see below a group of probably like 6 or so individuals against the big face of the glacier, kind of huddled around what you now recognize as your war wagon and the two sleds, the war sleds, that were being dragged by the actual by the wargs, the warg wagons and war, and I forgot what you called it, the shaggin wagon. That's what it was.
That's it.
The yif skiffs,
skiff,
the yif
actually.
skiffs, and the shaggin wagon.
I was hoping no one would remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watch as all of these elk tribe members shield their face against the sky, shield their eyes against the sky, and you can visibly hear them from the ground just going, as it's like fucking Independence Day moment, as this massive shape just suddenly appears from above them, above the on top of the glacier, just a shadow racing across the land, covering them up. You just watch them start to run.
How high above the ground are we at this point?
You're now still about 1,000 feet above the ground.
Well, I thought we would have been lowering also.
Yeah, I thought we would have been going like direct route. So like.
Yeah,
going
so now
down
they're
as
actually
we
even
went
more
towards-
terrified, as about 100 feet above the ground, a massive city just is.
About 100 feet, I would jump off.
Okay.
Can't wait to take 200 feet of fall damage, 200 feet, let's jump.
So, Polra takes a leap off as the city kind of slows down, reaching its predetermined thought destination.
When I land, if
Also
I get
known
their
as a brothel.
attention,
Sorry, when you
I
land,
would
what?
ass- I get their attention, or are they just mindless?
You call out to them, and there's a moment of panic as they're all kind of seeing this thing approaching. And then they recognize you.
When I get most of their attention, I shout, "What's up, fuckers? We killed God."
There's a brief moment of confusion between the tribe members as they kind of look to each other, try to figure out what the hell you just said. And then you just get that, like, one of them, who you remember is the chieftain of the Elk tribe, just gives you the fucking, just a deadpan stare, thumbs up.
And unfortunate, my comedy is ruined here. I just start looking for the animals.
Yeah, they find you before you find them, as bounding out from around a nearby snowbank. Was it Buttercup and Buttercup and
Oops.
there was
Slobber and Buttercup and Burn.
Was it?
Buttercup and Burn.
Buttercup
Yeah,
and
the two
Burns or
large
something?
bears come bounding out of there and tackle you affectionately.
Ah, it's the bears.
And then immediately, you hear them before they arrive. You see the remaining kobolds riding on the back of Slobber and Poot as they audibly fart their way and yowl their way over in your direction. And there's a giant, stinky cuddle puddle of bears, wargs, and confused and excited kobolds.
I'm assuming I don't see the corpses.
Nope.
I will just enjoy the reuniting.
There's a brief moment of everybody kind of, I would assume the city slowly comes to basically like this massive thing hovering now, probably about 30 feet above the earth. It's kind of looming there menacingly. And,
A rope ladder.
yeah, a ladder gets lowered. And,
Oh wait, no! I can make a fucking rope ladder with the
yeah, with the abracadabras.
The abracadabras.
Also, Derpy is IRL getting slobber and pooted over here by Thumper. It's like 4D. All right. So, you all gather around and see that your the giant goblin war wagon. Not pooping. Made a big ass fart. Oh, that's really bad. Oh man, now I'm getting it too. So, anybody saying anything? Like the elk chieftain, he's just like, Loki's smelling it. She's just like, whoa. So their chieftain, Magenir, he kind of walks forward. He says, "We saw the weather change. Some of our tribe fell when Oral's forces arrived, but we tried to hold them off as best we could. They pressed through and got through the caves, but it seems that, according to your winged friend here, you have defeated Oral. We sensed
She's pretty dead.
we sensed that her spirit, her spark, left and is gone." He kind of, takes one knee.
Literally when I
He takes a
said,
knee and he
okay.
says, "Thank you. You have done far north a great good."
I'm back.
Right, you're on the ground with the elk chieftain, and he's thanking you right now.
Oh, okay. So we're all down.
Yep, and the animals are all happy to see all of you. They're all kind of sniffing you, licking you, but you see the kobolds expectantly looking around.
Oh no.
Looking back around on the city, do we see any of the one-eyed dudes that I can't think of the name of right now?
No, you do not. There's 4 kobolds that are looking around right now. Whew, stinky. Oh. So she's gonna try to. So Valhana, I need you to give me a. I want you to give me a performance check. Yep, performance. So Valhana tells a decently good story about how Velen Arpel faced off against her rival, Avarice, deep within the caverns of hunger in the long-lost city of Yithrin. Fought a valiant fight, but in the process succumbed to the magical wounds she sustained in that massive battle, and fought hard, but in the end was lost. And you watch as Valhana finishes the story, and four of the kobolds kind of like, they all look at each other, and you can tell they're just like, and it's like, you can see that they're like, they know that though they can't speak common, you can tell that they know that this is not what Velen would have done. And Velen is much, much more cowardly than that, and would have preserved herself rather than tried to valiantly sacrifice for the greater good. However, they don't seem to care as much now, knowing what's happened.
All right. I believe then we plan to go south towards the spine of the world and around towards the Ascendant. Do y'all want to ride anywhere?
The four kobolds raise their hands. However, the elk chieftain, he just is like, no. You have freed the frigid north from Oral's frigid claws, and we can now go back to what remains of our tribe and start to rebuild. This is the way we will walk from here. They, give you the fucking warrior, gauntlet fucking forearm handshake to all of you as they grab the rest of their stuff, and you can see as they kind of walk away, you can see that there's probably you can see what looks like about a dozen or so grave sites dug here, where they buried the other members of the tribe that fell either in combat against the Tiger tribe or fell against Oral's forces as she advanced. You feel Thad, you feel a tap on your gauntlet. You look down. You see one of the kobolds, probably Yannick, and he holds up a kobold skull, and he just goes, and then he smiles as he makes the jaw go clack 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 clack.
I speak Draconic. Can I understand what they're saying?
Oh yeah. You speak Draconic. Cool. That one just says, "It's Jakob."
This one seems to be in good spirits.
And then another one, Magnus, goes, "And I'm Ulrich." Yeah. And he holds up the skull of Ulrich. And then the remaining two get jealous and start wrestling over Jakob and Ulrich's skulls. They start jabbering, just mine.
Could they understand common? They can't speak it, but they could understand it?
Yeah, they can understand it.
Okay.
They probably can speak it, they just don't want to.
Yeah, so Icewind kobolds, they can speak common. Hell yeah.
They just choose not
Oh,
to.
so we just...
It's just way funnier for them not to.
Huh.
Having a giggle about it.
Yeah, they're just speaking the equivalent of German, which is Draconic, which probably is right.
Jerkonic.
Draconic, yeah. Dra-
Well, you guys seem a bit lively, considering you've lost what the Velen or whatever. But do you have any? I could use some help on my journeys.
How much are you paying?
I pay in knowledge and experience.
Pass.
Fuck. All right. Well, if you change your mind, I'm sure there's riches I can find as well. But I have a gold mine first.
When you say that, they're just like,
Does that mean horde?
They all kind of look at each other and they all start saying in Draconic, like, horde, 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 horde.
What if I told you maybe?
They all gather themselves up like Team Huddle style. Two of them also holding Jakob and Ulrich's skulls as part of the huddle.
Like, does the orc speak truth? I don't know. I think he might be a little bit crazy. But is he crazier than Velen? Not sure. Shall we find out? What say you, Jakob? I don't know. I can't talk. I have no brains in my head anymore because I'm dead. That's right.
I also like to imagine they're loud enough that we're all hearing this, regardless.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They're like a foot away from all of you. And you're all of you are looking down at them as they're like huddling up. And finally, Yannick, who seems to be their appointed leader now, looks up and goes,
You've come to the decision that we would like to travel with you. With a caveat that you promise us a horde at some point.
I think I can do this.
He has a string in his bag.
You have made a wise choice. Very well. Welcome in the seeking of truth.
When you say that, they're like,
does truth get us gold?
There is value in truth, yes. Riches and knowledge. And gold, probably. I don't know. We'll find some. Don't worry. Here, I know what I can do. I'll pop out a couple of the fancy-ass wines from my bag, which I have 11 of them still. Crack open the top and just start passing around first to everyone else, but also hand one to the kobolds.
They immediately start to bicker over it, and then just angrily, like, one of them bites the cork out of it. The other, or is trying to bite the cork out of it. The other one wrenches it from Hans. Magnus grabs it and just bites the top off of it, just spitting glass everywhere. And they're just like, yeah, they're just fucking Donnie from Thornberries. They're just pouring the wine all over each other and in their own mouths. And then they immediately are just like wasted. They just start staggering all over the place.
that's just, he's standing there with his arms crossed while handing out the drinks.
Yeah, and that just all happened within like 5 seconds probably. They're just you turn back and you're like, oh, how do you like the wine? And they're just like they're immediately like weakened at Bernieing each other. Just like,
oh yes, there is much potential here, but we must work.
You're
through
just
it.
seeing like a glimpse into your next character.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'll play it like that, but it's kind of funny that it is a kobold. All right. Well, once we figure out everything going on, you stick with me. We'll find you that horde of knowledge.
all right. Well, the Elk tribe leaves. The rest of your group gets back on board the Yithrin. Noggin comes down and just picks up the fucking wagons and the skiffs and just fucking goes and shot puts it back on top of the fucking just onto the edge of the city. Easy.
Now we have broken skiffs.
They land. He's able to do it with enough. He's actually able to just kind of like, he's tall, so he's able to just like reach up and just kind of place it. You're 30 feet above the ground right now. Yeah, so like
he's a big boy.
He is a big boy.
Like the abominable snowman placing the star on the Christmas tree.
Exactly, just lightly putting it up there with a little bit too much force, but like still fine.
Well intended.
Yes, well intended. And the party gets back onto the Yithrin and takes the dial-up connection is a little bit slow, but eventually you get the response back from Kalis as the city rises up into the air once again and heads off in the direction, I would assume, of the spine of the world to the south.
I think so. We were talking about just going along the southern face to avoid.
I did also ask if we were like able to make a consolidated mist.
Oh, to
Around the
obscure
Yeah.
obscure
Can,
the
can we
city?
keep the weather, make the weather around the city mist?
So what you can actually do is, yeah, because you can do
Storm
do
clouds.
fog. Yeah, you can have it be fog.
Yeah, just big foggy cloud.
Yeah, like
I mean,
maybe a
what-
mile in each direction, so it just looks like a
So
big old...
interestingly, yeah, so it's like control weather is has a bunch of variables to it, right? So like right now I think you've cranked it up to like all the different like variables up to being like clear. I think you wanted to be clear and hot, right? But not like unbearable heat. And then calm. So
Yeah.
you can change the precipitation to overcast or ground fog, or actually have it be like, yeah, probably just fog. We'll just have it be fog around, and that's not 100%. That's like one step down.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, as you're traveling, a fog bank envelops the city, kind of creating what almost looks to be like a pillow beneath it, as it slowly travels along the spine of the world, south. You see in the distance now, as the day goes on and the sun finally actually like sets, you can see lights in the distance of all the different towns of 10 towns. Goodmead, East Haven, Erdinaval, even Bryn Shander in the distance. You can see the lights sparkling, now clear because there's no, snow in the evening. And it feels nice. As the evening comes, you get whoever has it gets a ping on your sending stone.
Oh, who does have that?
I think that's still a van, right?
I think so.
So Demovan, the sending stone speaks out, and you hear from your friends in the Silver Bullets as they call in. Malkram, their leader, you hear his dwarven voice as he says, "I just got reception back. Haven't been able to get a hold of you for days. Things here are going well. We've taken on the investigation of all the wrongdoings and all the strangeness that's been going on that you told us about. Turns out you were onto something. Seems that bastard Nerth was indeed behind some shady underground shite here in 10 towns. Well, Lord's Alliance will be happy that we rooted out what seems to be, well, what seems to be a Zentarim intrusion up here. So, don't you worry about that. We'll be taking Nerth back to Waterdeep to face trial. Thanks for all you've done. Folks of 10 towns are indebted to you. Also, a few of them have been asking that maybe one of you take the place of Nerth's town speaker role. Currently vacant. I know a ton of people would probably vote for you as well. Cheers! And then it ends.
I would
Anyone
have
else?
suggested we leave
Political
Caleb.
position.
Does anyone have political aspirations?
Well,
No. Okay.
Zero?
This is your new... Wait, Hyrokin wants a new tenure, it sounds like.
well, I can't go back.
Would you want to try to run such a podunk town after what your whole, cosmetology experience has
It
been?
was one of the better of the worst.
It was Targos. Yeah, Targos
That's true.
was the other larger city. It was East Haven, Targos, and Tourmaline. And Bryn Shander, of
Does it-
course, the main one.
Well, I
Does
don't
anyone
think any
else
of
feel
them.
like it's been like a lifetime since we've been back to 10 towns?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot has happened, that is true.
It kind of
There's
took
a
me while
part
to
of me
remember what
that-
the hell they were talking about.
Yeah, there's a part of me that wishes that it's more of a lifetime.
Just the
We'll always...
whole experience part.
I'll look to north as we're going past. Is this nighttime now? Like, or getting to...
Yeah.
Towards the east of
The
those
sun's
lights in
starting to
cities?
set, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I look back to the group. This was certainly a formative experience. I won't look back at this with any sort of negative thoughts. I think it did something good for all of us, at least for me.
We're acting like we're splitting up already. Don't we have planes to travel to?
I don't know. We seem to have different ideas. I said when we had that conversation in the cave, something brought us together. We complement each other in right ways, and that will never, ever go away. I think we are now a group for life, no matter what. But that may mean in the short term we may have to take different tasks. I'm starting to feel I may have to do something. I may start here. But I'm sure our paths will cross again if I do go. I'll sleep on it. I have things to consider.
Worst comes to worst, we put Zero in place in our stead, and he keeps an eye on 10 towns.
He could
for us.
literally look like Thad.
Yeah. Or whoever of us wants to be.
Yeah. Holy shit, that'd be so fucking weird.
A literal puppet government.
Yeah.
Thad's brain just goes, oh yes, puppet governments.
Now,
This is how it works.
funny? What would be really funny is if he took on the form of Demavand.
Yep.
Too
It's a
many
guy
layers.
pretending to be a guy. Pretending to be another guy.
What's actually really funny about that is I actually think Demavand is probably the most, like, he would be the most, likely to be that role. The rest of us are really eccentric.
I don't know. I think Hyrokin's thought of doing this would make sense too.
Yeah.
Gets away from the shit that you had to deal with.
And there might be an entire building back to without feeding it something. And you know, the whole being involved in research on the infernal planes. You know, that probably isn't such a good thing either.
Right.
Tenure just doesn't mean much nowadays, does it?
You know, the thing is, when I left, I didn't have tenure. I only got the tenure when I aged up 40 years.
Wait, you're saying your artificially forced tenure is not recognized by any accredited body?
I don't know, I haven't gone back yet, but I have the paperwork still.
Well, then you recognized it, so...
That's fair enough. My authority is boundless.
Everybody just looks at the camera.
The thing is, though, it's Thad knows it. He doesn't believe it, he knows it.
Exactly. It's so sure of it.
Yeah, it's not a lie because he knows it to be true.
I did miss some conversation there when rescuing the Dryad. What were your plans? What were the thoughts of what to do next?
I
Seems to be a good time to discuss it.
They're honeymooning in the plane of fire.
Yeah, I don't want to third wheel that one if I were you.
I absolutely see the rest of the group being like, yeah, we're honeymoon.
Yeah. So, where are we honeymooning?
That's huge blitz energy. Jam.
Oh my god. Yeah, so as you say that, as that that's revealed and Thad, your jaw just kind of drops. You're just like, what? You hear a strange sound as a glowing light starts to appear in the distance, and you just see what looks to be a massive squid-like shape just starting to make its way through the air in your general direction.
We could have stayed put.
I mean, we're talking you guys are pretty close. You're basically
We made our time.
Yeah, I would say you're in this area. You're in this area over here, in the valley that's outside of some of the more wild areas, not all the way up in the mountains, but in one of the big clearing field hilly areas out there. The glowing lights of the It Ascendant appear, and you see a gigantic, purple searchlight beam just start to comb over the massive shape of Yithrin. And Valhalla, in her head, she hears the now maybe unfamiliar but semi-familiar in her mind ping of one of the gnome illithids trying to contact her. comes through. We sensed a massive upheaval of magical proportions in the distance. We were able to repair the ship. The Ascendant is airborne and using the crystal you provided, fully functional. We are coming to your location.
That was actually phenomenal.
Wonderful.
Hmm?
Oh, I hope is Valhalla gonna go on a journey with them?
That's what you're using to jump to planes.
Yeah. Pretty
Not
much.
permanently, but
So,
If it works, yeah.
as the night grows a little bit darker, the sun fully setting, the Ascendant pulls up and docks alongside the city of Yithrin, floating there like 1,000 feet in the air. Just the most unusual sight. Somewhere in like East Haven, there's some like kid with like a telescope who's just kind of like, oh man, it's so pretty out right now. Look at the sunset. Oh wow, you can see the stars. Oh, what's that over by the? Holy shit! And just like through his telescope, he just sees a massive tentacle spaceship docking next to what looks like a yeah. Dad, what is it? And then, right, Dad, look at this! And he holds up the fucking thing for his dad to see, and he looks through it, and then that's when like the fog bank that you've conjured around the city of Yithrin just engulfs the Ascendant, and it's just completely hidden. He's like, "Oh, son, you're just seeing things. It's not like we've seen the sun in so long. You probably have heat stroke." Yep. All right.
Very inconspicuous.
The familiar plopping sound of the cephalopods of the nautilus or the illithid of the gnome illithids as they walk off their gangplank and arrive on Yithrin. And then you hear the excited slapping of the squidlings, now a little bit more grown, as they run and jump upon Demovan in excitement.
Oh gosh. We've all grown so big.
Yeah, we just watch what looks to be the intro to some strange Japanese hentai occur, but it's just peaceful. It's nothing weird. Nothing weird's going on. But you watch as now basically like the teenage like these things have grown up from being like baby Groot to being like teenage, like adolescent Groot in the time that you've been away.
It's been like a month.
Yep, they've been feeding a lot on those blended brains. It's what makes an illithid grow. It's what's good for them.
Bruce. Brain juice.
So the little gnome illithids, they walk up to the group. Well, holy shit! This place is massive. Also, good job. Good job.
The origin of it has been determined. Now.
Oh my god, it's so right. Holy shit.
Good job.
too quick with that.
My goodness. So so they start to converse with you, talking about like how they went back and were able to install the psi crystal and reestablish the power of the ship, save the ship itself from self-destructing and dying, and now they're able to fly, and they've made some friends, they've said, in the city of Bryn Shander. Nothing too crazy, but the innkeep is now one of theirs. They just leave it at that. And they look around, they're just like, well, we're gonna kind of blow this joint. We don't really want to stay up here any longer. I think we've outstayed our welcome, and we got some places to go.
Like the plane of fire, perhaps?
Yeah, how far are you going?
They look and they're just like, what? I mean,
We have business there.
okay.
These two on a
We don't have
honeymoon.
business there.
We're going on a honeymoon.
Yes.
I'm a little bit confused. And Dredovex, is that on the agenda? Dredovex comes in. We don't have an agenda at all. Our agenda is, you know, to be determined. Hey, Bahana, you you thinking about, you know, joining back on the crew maybe? Or at least working for us? Or not for us, but with us for a little bit? Yeah? Alright. Well, that's awesome. You want to... Oh, shit, back to the Feywild? Yeah, eventually, that's, I mean, of course we'll head there. That's, you know, kind of on the rotation of places to study, but, we got some other places to go. We have no agenda, so, also... Oh. Okay.
What was it?
Want Kolra's... He wants Kolra's buy-in on this.
Oh, to go ahead and rejoin with the crew.
Guess so, yeah. If this is the thing. Also, the hell, I keep forgetting the other name of this fucking Dredovex, and the squirts are named something funny.
I wrote them down, but I've
Oh,
lost
Vorin. Vorin and Dredovex, and then their squidlings are, the squidlings are Rin, Rix, and Zliglard.
That's right.
Ziglard.
Well, it's not really much of a marriage if we're not in contact for probably the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I hope you guys do that. That would, you know, that's a Thad original right there. Got to keep that intact.
Yeah, that's a banger. Another banger from Thad.
Just a fucking marriage DJ.
Yeah.
So instead of any like actual pop music, it's just the theme from X-Files.
Yeah, theme from X-Files remixed in heavy with Twilight Zone hard bass edition.
Wait, I want to non-ironically listen to this right now. Shit. It's like there's like little entries where it's like, you know, like there's a clips of people just talking.
Yeah.
It's like they know you're out there. Secrets, everyone, secrets. Like
Yeah.
it's just like stuff like that, and then it mixed in.
It's Thad featuring DJ Boris. Super conspiracy edition. All right, well, Mr. Dredovax looks over and is like, so, what the hell is this place? And how are you keeping this damn thing aloft?
Oh, ancient city from under the ice. Artificial sun. I point at it. Yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the name of the city is Yithrin.
Whoa! That's absolutely nuts! Whoa! And there's a big iron golem, and there's a strange giant, you know, what looks to be a giant penguin, and then, there's a guy? He just points to Zero, who just looks like a guy. Just...
There's also a god machine. Can we attach it to your plane?
God machine.
Oh yeah, the orb over there.
Orb?
The right thing.
Oh, well, we got enough lift. Do you know how heavy it is?
Nope. Don't touch it though; it hurts.
Okay, he goes over. I won't
kill the
touch
god with it.
In a quick inspection, well, it looks like it's kind of floating.
Yes.
But it's kind of attached.
Tend to do that.
It's kind of attached to the ground there. Does anybody have a way to, you know, like, get it away, like, jackhammer?
Again.
Jackhammer,
yeah.
or a way to, like, you know, just you know, fucking pry it out of the cobblestones here? I mean, it just seems to be just kind of, like, bolted to the rocks.
Yeah, I think the big guy can get it for us. I do the little thing where it's like doing like the religious point to the sky, except it's straight to Noggin's head. the big guy above, he's got it in his hands.
Noggin walks over to it and starts to try to grab onto the whatchamacallit, the I'm
base,
blanking
Plymouth or
the
whatever.
holder.
Yeah.
He strains. You can hear the like pistons and the pneumatics in his system and all the servos starting to whir and crank. He can't lift it. Can't remove it.
A
Can you
question.
break the ground underneath it.
Well,
Minecraft
before
style.
that, can the rift that thing opens between planes be large enough to fit this place through?
No, not really. It's just big enough for, you know, something a little bit larger than our, we kind of make a little bit larger than our Nautiloid, but it's definitely not as big as this bad boy. This thing is huge. The city itself, we could fit this orb, but like, it's stuck in the stone.
Well, then we need to break the stone around it.
Did you do some kind of special trick to seal up the towers in the city earlier? Do you do that again? Bricks?
What was the question?
Didn't you do a trick to seal up the towers?
Oh,
in the city?
Yes, but that is going to take some time. I can only do 5 feet at a time.
It's a better answer than we have currently.
The base is
will
actually
take
not that
me-
large. Like this thing, the where it's bolted is literally only about like a little over 5 feet.
Oh.
So we just need to detach it and be careful. If it somehow gets unstable and tips, we have to be able to get out of the way. But
Yes,
we could break its points of contact then.
If we break its points of contact, then we need to be on the ship.
Well, do you have
On the
anything
Nautiloid.
also? Yeah, squid friends. Do you have anything that will be able to?
Oh yeah,
Perhaps
we got
place-
like a tow hook. Well, we can hook that bad boy up like real quick. Y'all ready to do this?
Yeah,
The
why
Nautilus
don't
just like a Jeep Wrangler or some shit?
All right. Well, I
God.
think if you're
Sorry.
able to, probably better idea to like not have this thing so high up in the sky so that it doesn't
Right.
just comes crashing down and destroys a bunch of stuff.
Plus, there's a tree we just rescued that I really don't want. Oh my god, that jeep just cut in half. There's a tree we really want to make sure makes it. So perhaps where you first had your ship, I think we're heading there. That's a decent place to plant a grove. Why don't we take the city down there, up in that quiet valley? Hard to find out of the way.
All right.
I would agree.
Everybody
That's
agrees to it.
I'm thinking like kind of like right here.
Yeah, where the Ascendant was.
between just in one of those like quiet valleys up that way.
Yeah, Sunblight's no longer
should-
occupied.
Yep.
The Ascendant is.
It was because we helped the one faction take over, and then they told us to get the fuck out and never come back.
Yeah, but they're still closing it. They still were saying that they were going to.
Yeah, they were going back to Underdark. They were closing it up.
Oh, okay. I thought they were staying there, but they were closing.
they
it
just
off.
No, they
fuck
fucking
off.
hated that place. Yeah.
So, as the evening wears on, not getting too late, doesn't take you too much longer. You're able to, with the accompaniment and a little bit of extra horsepower, as the Ascendant tugboats Yithrin a little bit
Nice.
to get yourselves there. Lightly, once again, with a little bit of delay from Kalis, lightly lands in the valley. Comes to a rumbling, soft landing in the giant snowy fields here, nestled in the valley, looking around you. Crix begins to get to work. You start to shape the stone around the base of this thing. There's a tow hook hooked onto the actual thing, and like as everybody's kind of getting ready, Zero, your doppelganger friend, kind of looks around and goes, so should I stay here at the city, or what? I was thinking I would head back to town with Kingsport.
If it's yours, make of it what you will.
All right.
Whatever you want.
I
That's
swear to
short.
secrecy. We won't lead anybody here, and
No one's going to believe you.
that's
Even if they did, what does it matter?
yeah, true.
We're
You're-
taking out the engine and put it on blocks.
You are literally putting this on cinder blocks. That's quite true.
But there's still a lot here, so that's why it's worth to keep secret.
But I mean, you gotta. Thad, you're such a conspiracy theorist. The world needs to know about this place. You're taking away the thing that's kind of the core of it, but I mean, there's so much knowledge here that needs to be shared. Hell, I feel like I need to share this.
It's secret knowledge, but is it the right sort of knowledge to share? I feel like I must spend some time before I am comfortable to spread this. Perhaps I have become my own conspiracy, but that is okay.
Well, you saved me, so I'll honor your requests. Kingsport and I will just, well, we'll make our way back to the 10. We'll make our way back to 10 Towns. Can't say I'm not going to get into any trouble though, and if
would you want to stick around a little bit longer here? And I look back to the rest. I know you all have plans to travel, but I wanted to spend some time with the ruins of this city. Plus, there is some closure I'd like to seek with some others up in the 10 Towns myself before seeking out, well, that which comes next. And I know our paths will cross. I have a feeling, I look at Crix, what you are seeking is going to run into what I am looking to do, so...
Zero gives you a
I
smile.
look at Zero and Kingsport. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a little more company other than these crazy kobolds. As nice as they are, like, you guys are cool. But
the kobolds
it's
are
a big city.
Just diving into the snow over and over again, just like running around.
I can see
one
him.
thing that I'm certain of, it's that I won't be rid of you that easy.
No.
And there'll be a like handshake offer.
Yeah, I'll think for a moment. No, I'll think for a minute. I'll put the extended back. Our paths may have diverged, having started so closely aligned, but there is no conflict between us, and I think we seek the same thing in the end, just by different paths.
Indeed.
As you shake your hands, Crix, you see that you see Thad's ebon eye kind of like do the little like looking around on its own, and it looks down to your clasped hands, and then each of you immediately kind of feel a strange burning sensation, and you look down, and around each of your wrists there's now a red like string tattoo.
Yeah, it just completely blends into my red scales.
And also, that's funny. I have gauntlets on, so probably would not see.
You'd feel it. You'd both feel it. Yeah.
But that means to an outside observer would not necessarily notice it then.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And do I have any sense for what this means?
No.
Like I don't really care about the eye. I assume it's just benevolent. So
I can tell the eye is something though. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Until it's not Thad.
I think the fucking Illithids can tell that eye is something. Like.
Yeah. So I will just be like, what I will say is, watch the eye.
How would I do that?
As Thad thinks, thinks in thought, like looking up, Crix, you just watch as the ebon eye is just staring directly at you.
Either way, this spicy handshake is certainly an ode of good things to come.
I lip the words "fuck you" to the eye.
So bad.
The eye, so the eye without squinting somehow squints back at you.
Yep.
All right. So there's some preparations made. The Mythalar is freed. You figured out how to the Nautiloid has a toe chain. The toe chain weirdly is basically just like a tentacle that comes out of the butt of the Nautiloid and just kind of wraps around the mount. Just like slurps around the mount of the thing.
Oh, God.
And the night passes, and in the morning after a long rest, everybody is kind of geared up. So who's staying and who's going?
Should I stay or should I go now?
So I think if it's okay with the Illithids and I suppose Korra and Bahana as well, I think I'd like to stay with them.
I mean, your kids need you, so.
That's kind of Yeah.
As you're saying that, Demovan, you're just like, there's literally like 3 of the squidlings just like hanging onto you, just like crawling over you, just slur.
Yeah, like honestly, I don't even know what I have a choice at this point.
You really don't.
No.
Yeah, there's a
I
slot.
can hear
There's a
them
soft,
whispering to me.
yeah, soft plap
Humming.
noise. Soft plap noise as 2 little tentacles like drape themselves over your shoulders.
I certainly need a ride to the plane of fire, and of course, as pushy as I usually am and have been, it does not have to be the first place we go. I just would request that we make our way there sooner rather than later.
So it sounds like we're all going on a road trip.
Almost all of us.
I only have one other request, and that is that we visit Mount Rushmore.
What's Mount Mushmore?
You'll see.
What are you gonna do, my good
No.
furry fellow?
I think that.
God damn it.
All right, yeah, Hirokin, what are you gonna? What's your decision?
I think that there's potential in studying the city further in a more archaeological sense, and I might not have recognized tenure, but I feel like there's potential in studying this, and the history of magic department could possibly have an opening. So I gotta stay here, and then I gotta go back and hopefully overwrite some of the infernal problems I may have made.
Yeah, I mean, Hirokin, that would probably be one of the most massive discoveries in recent history of a a very well intact built, like, floating city of Netherese, like a Netherese floating city or flying city. This is you know, there hasn't been anything like this discovered in years, this well preserved. This would get you, double tenure, triple tenure.
Kind of like get reanimated after I die. I still have tenure when I come back
Oh,
the
yeah.
first time.
Post death
All your
tenure,
lives of tenure, yeah.
resurrected tenure. All right.
10 tenure.
Might be forgiven for all the interns that went
that went
mysteriously missing.
Your
weren't
record's
interns.
wiped.
Your grad students.
Yeah. So
They didn't have an employment contract.
with that decision, I think that's where we have like a nice kind of separation of the groups. We watch as the It Ascendant with Krix, Kolra, Demovan, and Valhalla aboard it. The gangplank raises up as they wave from the main deck of the ship. There's a slurping noise as the tow chain tentacle drags the semi-levitating Mythalar with them, kind of right up against near to, but not against the butt of the Nautiloid. Are you gonna leave? I would probably say Hirokin would be left with probably one of the sleds or something like that for travel, right?
Oh, I would hope so.
Okay.
Well, at least
Yeah.
probably 2, because I'm still here too. So we
Well, I was
I
gonna say,
don't
are you gonna stick around the Yithrin as well?
for a little bit. I could have a sense of if we get
Awesome.
to like,
All right. So yeah,
we get the plans,
yeah. So the archaeological party of Hirokin and Thad starts to dig into and uncover more secrets. Hirokin for the academic, Thad for the conspiratorial, and there'll be more to discover there as well.
That's a sitcom I want to watch.
Yeah. So yeah, we watch from the ground as Thad and Hirokin wave as the Nautiloid takes off into the morning sky, and on board the Nautiloid, Dredovax looks over to Valhalla and is just like, "Yo, do you want to try it? You want to activate the thing? Where are we going? You tell us where."
Sorry.
Fire.
Still thinking. type it.
Yep. Yeah, Crix is still, gonna just be like, well, if you don't know.
Well, like, first, I feel like we have to drop this thing off. Like, well, where do we want to drop this thing off? Is the plane of fire where we want to take it? Do we want to take it somewhere farther out into the outer reaches? Want to drop it in the ocean?
Why would we drop it? We keep it with us. That's the best way to.
Cat fight outside. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
All right, so you're just gonna
you
keep the Mythalar with you?
Yeah,
We don't
I
need to
think
keep it with us. We can issue a commands anywhere.
true, but this gives us weather cover anywhere we go.
Yeah, don't you think it's a little dangerous to keep around the kids?
Well, I guess that would be up to you two, and I look to the squid boys.
Oh, if it's a massive weapon, don't worry. We can take care of it. I mean, we got like some other things we can do here. Now that this is fully repaired, we even got like a cloaking device on this bad boy. It's pretty good. A little bit of our gnomish ingenuity combined with Illithid technology. Good shit.
Do you think that we would be able to, instead of towing it, somehow incorporate it into the ship?
Yeah, just give it some time. You can probably mount it on the forward bow.
Well, there we go. I think that's our plan then.
We also need some kind of shielding.
We can do that as well. No worries. This thing will be super souped up.
Just don't touch it.
No touching. You got it.
You can touch the mounting point. but
Unless you have
touching-
an enemy, and then they can touch it.
Yeah.
It does
So,
really
yeah,
good
I mean,
work.
you're asking if you want to go somewhere fun. I mean, the most fun place is definitely the Feywild. But that's just, my opinion.
Cora is getting antsy at that.
Is there beaches in the Feywild?
Yeah, absolutely.
We should go to a Feywild beach resort.
I know a
That's-
I
perfect
wanna be
one.
somewhere warm. I
I just
will
gotta work on
stay.
my summer bod, and I'll take the form of some rich
Arnold
chattiest.
Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm done.
Make sure
Ronnie
you do
Ronnie
everything.
Coleman just pops in. Yeah.
All right.
Man, the existence of changelings was completely destroy my desire to lift weights. They could just do it.
Oh,
Yeah, Neon, what's your response?
she's typing.
Yeah. So, right now, literally, like, Valhana's at the controls. And by the way, the controls are in this room with, like, tentacles dangling from the ceiling. And two of them come together to form almost like a slingshot. Like a slingshot thing in the center of it. But it's in Valhana's hands right now. Alright. Says home we go, and she lets go of the Illithid's little, like, slingshotty thingamajigs. And suddenly in front, there's a jolt of energy as the entire ship shakes. And suddenly in front of the ship, you just watch as a rift tears open in the sky above above Icewind Dale. And from within it, you just see the beautiful neon-colored, like, blues, pinks, purples, and greens, all vibrant, of the Feywild, almost overwhelming, as suddenly the ship just goes and rockets through.
Turning the Feywilds into the Gay Wilds.
Let's go. And we just see the shot from below as Hirokin and Thad just look and see the Nautiloid just disappear through a rift.
Damn, that's wild.
Feywild. Down, down.
Oh, the
And that's where
kobolds
we-
also drop sunglasses down.
Yeah, that's where we end the campaign. It's just a fucking it explodes, and Yithrin just explodes.
I've been waiting on the turning the Feywilds into the Gaywilds joke since the wedding happened.
Yeah. So that's where we'll pick up with the group whenever we get back to them. But we have some of them heading off into the Feywild for going to a Fey Ocean resort, and then we have the equivalent of like Indiana Jones and I guess conspiratorial Indiana Jones exploring.
I like Porkin's take on it. The crazy guy from Independence Day.
Oh yeah,
Very much the same energy.
Yeah.
But with a
Everyone thinks
bunch
he's
of-
crazy, but he's actually really smart.
yeah.
I like
It's
to think the
Indiana
last-
Jones and Indiana Jones from the fourth movie.
Oh no.
I think the last shot is Thad saying that. We hear the yeah, and it cuts to the plane of fire, and there's an explosion, and we just see the lamp go flying across.
Just gets knocked around one more time.
If we're also allowed to do some post-credit scenes here,
Yeah.
there's one thing I wanted to do.
Go ahead.
Well,
First.
just two things. But the main thing was, at some point during the next day, Thad would sit down, start meditating, and he'd be reaching out. I was like, Kalis, can you hear me? As he cast sending.
I don't want to, but yes.
I'll leave it at that. So I reached out to Kalis.
That's like the Marvel movie post-credit scene.
Absolutely, no, Thad would be the one to get that post-credit scene. So,
Oh my god, Thad's the crazy fucking, it ends up being the crazy fucking, Doctor Strange. Just like,
Oh yeah.
just sitting there meditating and just like, or Kalis, do you hear me? And just like eyes, you just hear echoing around, just like, ah! And just like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Just want to leave that cliffhanger for whenever things come up next.
Yeah, and then and then it has the stupid shit that Marvel always does, where it's like, Thad will return.
In phase 19.
The multi-thad.
Madness of the multi-Thad.
No one's ready for that. I can promise you.
His that is a thadiverse.
The Thadiverse. Oh my god, enter the Thadiverse. No
like,
wait.
cinematic universe.
Cinematic universe.
I feel-
Yeah,
I feel
no
a
wait.
little-
Far from Thad. No way Thad.
No, wait, that.
Home Thadding.
No, Thad out of yarn.
Yeah.
Bad infinity theory.
I feel sort of bad for
Mad in the
disrupting a
yarn of
really.
madness.
No, that's
Really
awesome. No, but
good
that
end
adds
scene,
that will be the way that like now Thad knows. Now Thad knows that
Yeah.
Kalis is alive.
Yeah, that was the key. Is like I knew I could reach out and check, so it leaves that as now a like yes, that connection's there.
He exists.
But I like the whole end scene with the ship going into the Feywild,
Yeah.
and then of course the weird buddy cop / sitcom that is Hirokin and Thad at the site.
All right. Well, that's where we leave this campaign for now. So
This is
awesome.
a really fun one. I like so
Exactly.
much about this one.
Nice wrap up ending. I actually wrote down all the different things. The last. You know how there's always two post credit scenes.
Yeah, there's the mid credit, post credit. Yep.
The final one is this. We just go back and there's just kind of like a quiet moment of like Thad and Hirokin like digging through some rubble, and like Thad just like holds up something. He's like, "Is this an artifact?" And Hirokin's like, "No, it's not. I can tell." And then you just see some rubble move, and you see Veneranda stand up.
That's right.
Whoops.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
So we'll see. Maybe that'll be a thing. Who knows? We could have
man.
the weird trio of Thad, Veneranda, Veneranda, the brain in a jar, Mad Wizard, and Hirokin.
There's so many ways to go with.
It was also fun. I love about this too, even though like we're literally in different planes, we all have a connection because of the Mythalar. So we can always keep in touch in that, and we all have various ways of doing sending. So we can keep in touch as a group pretty easily. So
we're gonna
it's not like, yeah.
Gonna like be at the end of the beach vacation episode essentially, and we're just gonna get a crazy Thad message. It's just like, I need you all to meet me in the plane of fire.
Yeah, something like that.
In the plane of fire in 10 minutes.
just like, Crix, you were right.
Wait, Porcus, I just realized Thad is absolutely Randy Quaid in a way. That's pretty close. Like it's somewhere. Yeah, Randy. He's somewhere. Which, by the way, the actor is absolutely just as crazy as the character, if not more. So it's
perfect.
That's really funny. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to end the stream, and then we can jump back on, and we can, if those who are interested in sticking around for a little while, we can go over some of the finalization of characters for Witchlight.
Hell yeah. I'll stick around for sure.
Cool. All right. Be right back. All right. That is a wrap on our lovely Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign. A nice way to wrap everything up. We got the two groups out and about, but they're all going and doing different things. The It Ascendant now has one of the most powerful artifacts in the world on top of its front deck, which will be hilarious. And basically makes it a warship. Yeah, we'll pick up on this eventually again. This group of characters is great, and I think we want to see more of it. So, yeah. Episode 64 is where we end Rime of the Frostmaiden. Probably, 30 or more episodes more than the typical team or the typical group, but fun time. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been that campaign. We'll be picking up next week with starting off on episode 1 of Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which we're going to be doing some Session 0 stuff right now behind the scenes. That's it. Bye. We out.